How is everyone? Welcome back to Love After, a new branch off series from After the Island that you all love and know. We are here today with KK.
Hey y'all.
Hi. I was just saying, I'm like, KK, you look so beautiful. I'm like, anyone that's listening to this as a podcast, you need to go back and watch the video because you literally look stunning. You're like glowing.
Thank you. I'm surprised. A little bit hungover.
Oh my gosh, stop. You to me were America's sweetheart from your season. Like people literally fell in love with you on the show. And for anyone listening that isn't familiar, KK was just on season 5 of Love Island USA over this most recent summer. What was that like? I know we talked a little bit about it when you first came off the show, but now that you've had probably more time to reflect and look back on it, what are kind of your thoughts overall?
Honestly, I feel like overall it was a great experience. Like it did a lot for me. Like just being able to watch yourself on TV. Like when I was in the moment, it just felt kind of regular. I didn't like realize what was happening. It was kind of like I like to feel like I was in a video game. That's what it felt like.
Alex and I always joke, we're like, it's a simulation.
Literally.
So the crazy thing about for you, like the whole name of the show, Love After, kind of like dives deeper into like what the aftermath is after coming off of a reality show like that. So your ending was pretty abrupt because Keenan gets dumped by the public who you were coupled up with, and you chose to leave with him, ending your journey early as well. Like, looking back, like now, are you and Keenan, for the record, are you guys still together right now, or are you guys
Everybody
separated?
broke up.
You broke up?
Yeah.
So because you broke up, do you regret doing that or no? Do you like say to yourself like I wish I had stayed, or you kind of like no, it was still what I would have done over again?
Um, so I don't regret it at all. I feel like I did what I needed to do in that moment. Like I followed my heart in that moment and, it led me to leave. And so I'm going to stand on that, but as far as if I would do it again, I feel like I've grown so much since then. I know it wasn't that long ago, but I've literally grown so much and I've learned so much about myself and healed in a lot of ways. So would I do it again like that? Probably not, but I don't regret doing it.
No, that's totally fair. And I feel like although you say like you haven't grown a lot, I almost think once you're on a show like that or you kind of learn that time moves differently. And I think time kind of moves differently when you leave as well. Like
Yeah,
it's not the same. Like you're kind of forced to learn things really fast because everything moves really fast when you come out of an environment like that. So you are kind of forced to learn things quicker than you might in the real world.
for sure.
So why did you and Keenan split? Have you guys like spoke about it publicly at all, or like what was kind of the reasoning?
We haven't talked about it at all. I'm sure everybody's tuning in like we just want to know if they broke up or not. But
Oh,
so we actually relocated to Houston, Texas together. Our housing and stuff just didn't work out at the time, so he ended up going back home to DC and
mhm.
came back to Dallas or whatever, and then we were doing a long distance situation for a while,
Oh,
and that
that's
just wasn't working for us. Like for me, I was a little bit depressed, like just from everything, just life in general. Like, I was
mhm.
going through my emotions, and then he ended up going back to school on campus. So he's, doing his thing, and then I'm here doing my thing. And I just didn't have the energy to give into a relationship. And honestly, I don't think he did either. So we kind of took a break for a while, and then I decided I didn't like the break. Like, the break was not
Yeah,
like, what is a
that's
break?
fair.
Either we are or we're not. So
Yeah,
that's kind of the
gray water is hard.
still really good friends. Like we talk pretty much every day. Like we're still cool.
Good. I feel like too long distance is really hard, especially with like a newer relationship. Because
Mhm.
like when you come off a show, like you're almost like starting the relationship over. Like you're getting to know this person backwards again. Like you're
Right.
getting to know their friends and their family. Like it's not the same.
It's not. And then also we had like so much negative feedback,
Right.
that we had to like face. And I think that
Totally.
a lot to do with some of the things where we're like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Right. I think that takes a huge toll on people. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I didn't have like the negative feedback from being on the show, but like doing After the Island with Alex, like, we got a lot of negative feedback for all kinds of like things that were like not intended to happen or whatnot. And or just like people always wanted something better, or you're not doing this right or doing that right. And it's crazy how you let all these negative comments seep in. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, never go on Reddit.
Oh
Like,
yeah. I learned that the
Twitter's
hard
also a scary place.
way.
Basically, like having the negative effects can really take a toll on a relationship, especially a new relationship, because then you not only have all these like trust where you're learning to trust someone in a normal relationship, you're now learning to trust someone on top of like DMs you're going to be getting and messages from other people and other people's opinions. And it's just like,
A
it
lot.
can be really overwhelming. And I feel like that can take like a huge toll on a newer relationship, especially.
For sure.
What were like some of the messages that you got that were negative? That I know Islanders in the past have been like sent videos, or people from other shows have been sent videos of like their significant other like out at a bar, like even if it's just talking to someone. Like, did you guys ever have anything like that that came into context?
I did actually get like some messages like that, but I just knew most of them were fake. They all
Right,
came from burner accounts, and like
right.
they would say, "Oh, Keenan's with my homegirl right now," and I'm looking at Keenan. He's right here next to me. So like
You're like, I don't think so.
so many times, like people just were like on a mission to like end
Yeah.
us.
I
Like,
know. People really were like against you guys from the start based on the way you guys were edited, how things shaked out and whatnot. That I can imagine it would have been really tough to face those things come real life. How did it affect him too? Like I feel like for me, like if that happened, I would get really in my head or become such like an internal battle that it would then be hard to like give myself to someone else. And like
mhm.
same with you, like the minute you're hearing like negative things here and there about like maybe like Keenan probably got a lot of like hate for his actions on the show. He then probably like, was internalizing them a ton and then thought like, okay, this is so hard for me. I feel like there's all these other things I'm worried about. Like, how do I be in a committed, like, how do I commit all my like time and energy, my thoughts like to this relationship when I have all these other back thoughts of like everything that happened?
I think that whenever he first left the villa, he was really worried about like the negative things. But I think he got over that pretty quick. Like he
Okay,
wasn't
that's good.
like I think that his main thing was to like show me and prove it to me that like that's not who he was, or he had an agenda for me. Like
Hmm.
his appearance from like social media and stuff, he tried to just like not pay attention to that, but he
Hmm.
would be mad when he saw stuff about me like that.
That makes sense. And I think that's even like a good testament to like his character too. Is
Yeah,
that like that is what should be always coming first too, is like the person you're putting your priorities towards. For you, like leaving the show, it was hard because a lot of the girls were kind of expressing they didn't like have the support for you and your relationship. Did that kind of change like after the show once you were able to reconnect with them? Or no, were they still kind of adamant about like maybe he isn't the right guy for you?
I think that I can say a few of the girls that I was the most closest to, they
Mhm.
were still very supportive. They did let me know that they didn't think that that was the best idea, but after leaving and like seeing how we were doing and talking to them, they definitely showed support, and they figured out that that's what I wanted to do, and so they didn't tell
Right.
me about it. I don't know if they felt differently, like, girl, you need to go, but they weren't telling me that anymore.
And then how long, like, has it been since all of that? Were there any girls, that kinda came to you, like, after you broke up and they kinda wanted to, like, salvage the friendship, being like, "Oh, you're not, like, in that phase of your life anymore, and, like, now they could be your friend," or no, was it not like that?
No, it wasn't like that. The people that I talk to are the people that I've been talking to. The people that I
Right.
just talked to, I just
Yeah.
haven't time or like.
Yeah, and honestly, that makes the most sense. That's kinda how it was like for me. Like, I didn't really become too close with anyone from, like, my season post-show, like, months later or anything. It was just kinda like the people that I was close with there were the people that I stayed in touch with, and that's just kinda how it, like, turned to, like, shake out.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about now? Are you, like, dating now? Are you back on the apps? Like, how are you gonna, like, approach like, or how have you been, like, approaching dating now that you're back in, like, total real life? All right, guys, we are gonna take a brief moment to hear from one of our sponsors, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am the sponsor of this episode. Now launching my ecourse, the Content Club, on influencer marketing and content creation to teach anyone how to become an influencer or a content creator today. It is anyone's game in the industry now, and anyone can do it at any following size. I have made an entire course. It includes everything you would need to know from getting started, pitching yourself, negotiation, access to agencies, brands, a bunch of free PR. It is such a great way to make extra money, have a side hustle,
and then hopefully make it your full-time job. I've had a lot of success teaching people in the past, and I can't wait to teach any of you now. Sign up today. I promise you will be so excited. I've never not had anyone make their money back right away in the first month, which is crazy because I've had so much success in teaching it, and I can't wait for any of you to be a part of this as well. It is a really, really awesome community. So check it out. It's the Content Club at elizabethmariesocial.com, and I will link it at the bottom of this video. Thank you so much, and we'll get back to the interview.
Girl, I don't even know where to start. I feel like the dating apps, they weren't working before, so I'm not even going back down that road. But
okay.
like actively dating, my DMs are popping, but I'm not like, seeing anyone. I'm not going on any dates. I'm pretty much just focused on myself, and I'm still healing, still growing. I'm just really trying to pour into my own cup right now. And then I'll maybe get back into the dating scene.
Sure. How fresh is the breakup? Because I feel like there's got to be like a good balance, but everyone's different too.
We broke up in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like yeah.
Few months.
Yeah, a few months. Okay. I'm like, spring fling. You could have a little spring fling around the corner.
Yeah.
You ever get really like funny DMs from people, or any like any good like famous people sliding into your DMs? Because people have had some wild ones.
The DMs are popping. Like there's some blue check in there. Athletes in there for sure.
Oh, I love that for you. I love it. I also was wondering, like, would you ever do another dating show specifically again?
I don't see why not. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not gonna say that I'm just like seeking to do, but I don't know. I'm not opposed to it. I think that if the time was right and the circumstances were fitting, then why not?
Yeah, I feel like you definitely have to have that mindset. You're still like so young too, that I feel like you gotta just be like, if the time is right, if the moment's right, if I'm feeling it, I'm up for it, and if I'm not, I'll pass. And maybe next year.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then I'm like, do you meet people ever like in real life? Like if you're at a bar and you meet someone, is it like funny? Like how long does it take you to have to say like do they ever look you up right away on Instagram, or like they're like, oh, let me add you on social media, and then they're like, why do you have all these followers? What is the check mark? And you're like, I was at a reality dating show.
Yeah, I honestly don't like to talk about it. Like when I meet I like to wait until like if I'm gonna get to know them, or like we're gonna be friends or whatever. I try to avoid that by all costs for as long as I can, because it's just so awkward. Like, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, I need to watch it," and I'm like,
You're like, maybe not. No, that's so true. And I always think of too, when am I supposed to like tell someone this? Because then sometimes someone's like, oh, I'm gonna add you on social media before I like see you again, whether it's just like friends or like back when I was dating, I was like, oh no. I will say I did use like on my Hinge profile when I had it. I did like the 2 truths and a lie. And like one of the things, it was like, oh, I got bit by a shark. I won a reality dating show, and like something else like super obscure. And people were like, oh, I said my Instagram handle is tattooed on someone. And people would be like, literally, I don't know which one is the lie. I was like, okay, at that point, I'm just like owning it. What was also dating like before you went on the show? You said like dating apps weren't working, but like what was working for you? Like, did you ever have like any serious boyfriends before going on? Or because some people that have been on the show like have never even like had a boyfriend before.
Right. So I'm pretty much single, mostly single, like my whole life. Like since high school, I haven't had like a very serious boyfriend. And so yeah, I was on the dating apps. I've gone on dates. The men weren't, what I was looking for, I guess. Like it just never worked out. And also I feel like I was really busy before I went on the show. I was doing my travel nurse thing. So I was always close. And then when I would be on travel nurse assignments, I would work like 5 to 7 days in a row.
That is crazy.
When I was working, so I didn't have a lot of time to like be talking to people, texting all day, meeting up every week. It was just a lot. So
yeah, that I have friends that do that for work, and it takes up their whole life. It's crazy. And then you're moving all over too, so it also makes it kind of hard, like to not get too attached to any one city. And I will say my friends that are travel nurses, they ended up going back and dating and then now married to like hometown boyfriends or like old flings, because they said it was like hard to meet people on the go like that living in different cities. So I can imagine like that would be tough too. But if you had to like describe Like, I'm sure you told like producers this and stuff too. I'm like, I know I did. I sent like a full ass PowerPoint presentation to them, but like your type or like what you'd be looking for in someone, or like if you just happen to meet someone, like what kind of like qualities, physical attributes, like all of that would you kind of want in like a dream person?
I feel like all of that has changed now.
Okay.
I feel like what I wanted before is all that stuff I don't really care about anymore. I do want someone who's emotionally intelligent, who's verbal with how they feel. I do like that. Want someone who is goofy and fun. Like I need somebody to match my energy because I'm
Yeah.
like I'm a little crazy, so I need somebody. You know,
You're like so silly too. Like you need someone like bubbly and fun, but then also has their shit together and like will get their shit done.
for sure. And someone just supportive. I don't necessarily think that I need someone to be like famous or like known or like have a lot of
Right.
followers. And I would definitely keep my next relationship private for sure.
Yeah, because it was hard being so public with your relationship afterwards. What kind of comments would you see that like put the pressure on you guys? Like what kind of things would you read that made you feel like, okay, this is putting a lot of pressure on things?
The number one comment we got was, oh, they're not going to last for 3 months. They're not going to last for 5 months. They're not going to last for 6 months. People would say things like that. And then I think he took like maybe a month from the time we left the villa until he actually asked me to be his girlfriend.
Mm,
And people like, yeah, he's not in it. He don't want her. Like he didn't even ask her to be his girlfriend. Like, so I think like just certain things like that made it like, okay, I wanted to do this on my own time. I want us to, if we're gonna be together, we be together because we like each other, not because we're trying to prove a point to everyone else. You know what I mean?
right,
So
right,
it made me insecure. Like, is he just doing this because he's trying to prove them wrong, or
right.
you know what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah. Because
that's just
he, I mean, to some extent, like, because I just know, like, if it was me and like I was Keenan, I would have gotten so in my head about like, I really don't want people to think I'm a bad person because like I'm not a bad person and he's not a bad person, that I would be so concerned with like, okay, how can I make sure like I don't do anything else moving forward that makes me look like a bad person? And maybe that falls under the category of like, if we break up too soon or if we disappoint the fans by not being together for long enough or whatnot, like that pressure would really kind of eat at you.
right. And it was eating at me because I feel like maybe that is what he's thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I'm not in a relationship, and neither are the fans either, and that's kinda where you guys, like, probably had to s take your divide and say, like, "Okay, this is, like, how we are and how we're gonna look at things," and not, like, let any of that get to us. What kind of advice would you give to someone that's gonna be there's gonna be more seasons of Love Island, it's gonna be renewed for at least however many years, and there's gonna be girls that are, tough faced with that tough decision that you had to make. What is like advice you would give them going through what you went through? Like seeing the videos from Casa More being in the house, being stressed out about new girls coming into the villa. Like what advice would you give someone that's going to be like in your shoes next?
My number one thing is put yourself first, girl. Like whatever, whenever, every single time, put yourself first. That's not something I feel like I did. And
Mhm.
that I've grown from, but I wish I would have had it like day one, like, hey, you're here for you, put yourself
Mm,
first. Probably number two is don't negotiate your non-negotiables. Like
right.
before you get to that villa, tell yourself what you're willing to negotiate and what you're not, and
Yeah.
stand.
I like that. I think those are both really solid things. I'm
Yeah.
like, clip that. That is great. Because everyone needs to learn that or
Yeah.
like have that kind of mindset. It's so important. And that translates to the real world too, you know?
Just growing up, having younger siblings, and like I've just been a caretaker my whole life. Like I've just had a lot of responsibility and stuff. So like I'm just not used to. I didn't grow up like knowing put yourself first. I haven't practiced that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
where that came from, like you can probably tell from the show watching it that I'm just like a caretaker. Like I'm such a nurturer. Like I just feel like I have to take care of everybody, and so sometimes that makes me forget to take care of myself. But that's a part of my healing journey, and we're up now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense that you say that about, like, the younger siblings thing and that, you're gonna be the one looking out for other people. Because I immediately, when you said that, thought of so many moments. I remembered watching you back of, like, someone having a bad day and them putting their head in your lap and, like, you just being there for the other contestants or being like, "Let me go get you this," or, like, "Can I get you that?" Like, just very being, like, an older sibling type feel. That makes total sense. So, what are you back to travel nursing now? Like, what have you been up to?
I'm actually starting a new job next week.
Oh, congrats.
But I won't be traveling for a while. I'm kind of
Wait,
trying.
what is the job at Cutout? Sorry.
Yeah, the job is at a step down ICU hospital. So
Ooh,
doing that specialty, I'm a little bit excited about it.
yeah. I think
But
that's amazing.
I'm putting the traveling on hold for now. I kind of just want to set some roots and like,
Yeah.
I've been moving around a lot for the past like what 2 years. So
Yeah, that's a lot. So,
yeah,
I mean, not that your new job won't be stressful, but at least you won't have the traveling aspect on top of it.
yeah,
But I know, and maybe like kind of establishing your roots, you'll have more space for like dating or getting to know a town. Be easier probably to like have friends where you're living too. Like, because I feel like when you're on the go, it's so hard. Unless you already have like established friends in the city, it's hard to like then have the energy after work to go meet new people.
right.
And it's like harder as we get older too to just like make friends. Like, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It is not the same.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot harder making adult friends, but it's a good thing because I feel like it shows like you're growing, so you're able to have like new people in your life and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah.
What other things do you have coming up? Are you still working like on your social media and stuff? I saw you have your new agency. Congrats on that for social media. That's great.
Yeah, I signed with Azure Agency and they've been amazing. We have a lot of things in the works. I can't talk too much about it, but I'm definitely still doing the social media influencing and, doing brand deals and stuff like that, creating content for Instagram and TikTok. I do have a YouTube channel, but I haven't been posting on it much, but
Should bring that back this year. We love YouTube. I feel like YouTube is an awesome way to grow as a creator. If that's something you want to like look into doing more of, I feel like that's a really good platform. And same with TikTok. I
yeah.
feel like I've seen a lot of your TikToks like blowing up recently, which is great.
Yeah, thank you.
You do seem generally like you're in like a really good place. Like you seem very happy, like the way you like come across to right now. Like it doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm putting on a show of like I'm doing so great or I'm doing this. Like it's very like real. And I really appreciate that. And talking to so many people all the time, I feel like I can almost tell really quickly when someone's putting on more of like a I'm doing so amazing, this and that versus like, yeah, this is where I'm at. This is how things are going. And like I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm super happy. I think it took a lot for me to get to this point. Like
Yeah.
definitely went on the roller coaster. So I feel like we're having this, meeting at a really good time because I am in such a good space like mentally and emotionally.
What were some things that you did to like get to that space? Like, did you do therapy? Did you read any good books? Like, I know for me, as I went through like roller coaster of my life, like through different breakups, through different like hurdles I hit, different things kind of helped me get through. What were some things that kind of helped you with this like these past few months, like kind of getting to where you are now?
I definitely did read some books. I was journaling a lot.
Yeah.
Let me
What
think.
books did you read? Any that like stand out that you would recommend?
I read my favorite one was called The Mountain Is You. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
It was a really good book. I think it really opened my eyes to a lot of things and like
Mhm.
it kind of made everything full circle. Like, why am I this way? Why do I, act this way?
Right.
Because of this. And like now I can understand how to reverse that and how to grow from that and make it a positive thing. So
Totally.
yeah, that was my favorite book that I read. And then the gym helped a lot. Like just I feel like the gym is therapy for me.
I'm laughing when you first said it. I was like, I don't think I've read that book. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Elizabeth, you idiot. The actual gym. I think the gym is so helpful for me because it's like a good way, like exercise in general, or just
Mhm.
like getting outside and playing a sport, like letting kind of, like your body, like it's so good to be working out and getting exercise in. Like I feel like it just makes you happier and it makes you feel stronger and like more powerful as a person to be like, I'm doing this for me. I'm showing up for me. I'm putting in the work. And then you just like, it's like look good, feel good. I think it all just kind of circulates.
For sure, for sure.
What does your like workout routine look like? Like what do you do when you go to the gym?
Right now, every day is glute day because I'm trying to get a fatty for the summer.
I would love to hear that. That's amazing. I'm like all the deadlifts, all the squat racks. They have this class out here in LA. It's called Bunda. It's like a full Stairmaster class with weights and you kind of like trade off between them. It literally like will sculpt your butt. It's crazy. Like
Ooh,
all the girls in LA, like they know Bunda is insane.
I need play to go to Bunda.
For me, one of my like battles like when I was, coming off of having a relationship from the show and then once I started introducing new relationships was like the audience and my audience and the Love Island audience was very like against me being with someone new. But
Oh,
I think that's because like my couple was well received from the show. So I'm bet for you, I wonder if it will be pretty much opposite for like if the time ever comes you decide to be like public again on Instagram with the relationship, which maybe you never will. it doesn't really matter. You know, it's all going to be up to you. But I wonder if like your audience will be really excited about it
I feel
versus
like what they want to see someone new. That's
yeah.
just I got, especially from the event last night. It was live, so I got a lot of feedback, and the audience was able to.
Oh.
But from what I took in, yeah, they want to see somebody new.
Well, I like that. Then I'm excited for you. And I feel like that will be just like more uphill stuff rather than like a battle, which some people that I talk to, you know, and have talked to for this series kind of have like that is kind of half the battle is having your audience, especially if you like want to work in social media and like stick with it, not accepting if you're like introducing a new partner to your pages.
Right.
I also feel like you do really good on like a game show. Like
Yeah, I would love to.
Like traders, like what Bergie did. I'm like, you would be so good at that.
Or even like Big Brother or
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Really good. I would love to see you on one of those shows. I feel like that'd be really perfect for you because you bring so much to the table. You know, like you're fit, you've got the brains, you're cute. Like you would have like the bronze versus beauty versus brains categories, like all three across.
Thank you. And I'm super competitive, so
Yeah. And I feel like you kind of have the underdog feel because you're so like tiny and cute. Everyone would be like, no, like she's not a threat. She's not a threat. And you'd be like, oh, but am I? Right. Be the underdog, the sneak approach. So fun. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on here today. I'm so excited we got to do like a little mini catch up. The audience can like hear from you where you're at. You're down in Texas, living your best life. Hopefully we can see maybe you reintroduced to the dating scene soon. Maybe not. We're definitely gonna be looking out for your summer bod around the corner. Hope to see that all over the gram and TikTok. I'm like so excited for you and you seem so happy. And I think everyone's gonna be really excited to see you this happy as well. And I appreciate you so much coming on today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And to anyone listening, please like this video, leave KK a comment down below, and any other questions you might have for her. And I'll also link her social medias if you want to follow her and keep up with what she's got going on. Sounds like a lot of good things in the works. And again, thank you guys so much for listening. Bye, KK.